What is up, guys? I'm the Gaming Gorilla. It is a pleasure to have your company once again, and this is the channel where I make videos that help you make better decisions on what games to buy, but also create conversation around those games. And today I want to talk about the upcoming Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and why even though there's been positive and negative reactions to the reveal, that I think it's exactly what Call of Duty needs going forward. And I've come up with 5 main reasons as to why I think that is. So let's get into it. As always, if you enjoy the video today, I'd love it if you could leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one if you haven't already. Alright, the first reason why Modern Warfare is exactly what Call of Duty needs is actually right there in the title, and that's the fact that it's Modern Warfare. Let me explain. Think back to 2013 or 2014, if you were playing Call of Duty that long ago. And I think a lot of people have really forgotten what was actually going on in the Call of Duty community at that time. Just after the release of Call of Duty Ghosts, the entire fanbase was absolutely sick and tired of modern day games. Of course, it didn't help that Ghosts wasn't really an outstanding addition to the series itself, but regardless of that, 5 of the last Call of Duty games were set in the modern day. We had Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, Call of Duty Ghosts, and Black Ops 2, with Black Ops 1 actually being the only game in the past 6 years that wasn't set between 2010 and 2025. And it wasn't until 2014 that Sledgehammer Games took a big risk and took CoD in a different direction with Advanced Warfare, which completely changed the way Call of Duty was viewed forever. After 3 consecutive games of advanced movement with Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare, Sledgehammer Games again was the studio pushing for change when they took the series back to World War II. After that, it was Treyarch that took the series to the near future again with Black Ops 4. And that's where we are right now. So in 2019, it has been 6 years since a modern day Call of Duty was released. And my god, it's about time they brought it back. And that actually leads me on to my second reason why this is exactly what Call of Duty needs, and that's the fact that this is really, let's be honest, the only series that Infinity Ward has really had any real success with. I remember growing up, Infinity Ward for a long time was considered the best Call of Duty development studio when they were developing the original Modern Warfare trilogy. But after 2 pretty lackluster games with Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty Ghosts, the title of the best Call of Duty developer was unanimously handed over to Treyarch with the Black Ops series. Infinity Ward never really pushed the boundaries of Call of Duty, and instead always sort of found themselves being the studio that just continued on from where the Call of Duty before them finished off. See, it was Sledgehammer Games that evolved the movement system, and it was Treyarch that introduced something like zombies into the series. And Infinity Ward never really implemented anything like that, and never really moved the needle for the series. And I don't necessarily think it was for a lack of trying. I'm sure a lot of us remember Extinction in Call of Duty Ghosts, and look, it wasn't terrible, but at the same time, it wasn't good enough to warrant a continuation. So for Infinity Ward to go back to the basics essentially, and start over with a reimagination of what they do best with Modern Warfare, I think that's exactly what this studio needs to make a great game. But I also think it's what Call of Duty needs in order to save the fanbase from another lackluster addition to the series. Alright, moving on to number 3 is a compelling story. And I know that's not something you would normally pair with Call of Duty, right? But again, I think this is something that Call of Duty desperately needs. Black Ops 4 took a really big risk in launching a game without a single player mode, and while personally at the time I thought it was a nice change, looking back, single player campaigns are a staple of Call of Duty games. And I think Infinity Ward is taking a massive step in the right direction here. So let's take a look at what we're actually getting in this storyline. To start off with, this isn't Modern Warfare 4. Yes, it has the same characters, but it's what they're calling a quote-unquote reimagination of the Modern Warfare series. Almost like it's happening in an alternate reality to the original trilogy. And at first I thought it was honestly a little bit weird, but it looks like it's going to turn out pretty damn well. A couple of weeks ago, some YouTubers were flown out to the Infinity Ward studios to experience 2 missions from the campaign. And from all accounts, it looks fantastic. With the Modern Warfare story, it looks as though they're taking a pretty bold approach to Modern Warfare. You'll be playing from two different perspectives. One will be a military perspective, while the other will set you as a freedom fighter in the Middle East. For those of you who have played the original trilogy, you'd know that there's some moments throughout the three games where it really put things in perspective. For me, this is summed up by the No Russian mission in Modern Warfare 2, where you're set up as an undercover agent aiding the main villain Makarov, as you mow down innocent civilians in a Russian airport.
Remember, no Russian.
When I first played that mission, I was a lot younger. Obviously, I didn't quite understand it. But now that I'm 8 years older, and looking back at that mission, honestly, it's pretty scary how realistic that is, and how that's completely possible in today's world. And from all accounts, it seems as though the upcoming game will have a lot more shocking moments like that. And with the quite honestly disgusting acts of violence that have happened throughout the world in the past few years, I'm sure for a lot of people, those moments in the game will hit pretty close to home. And despite how disturbing all of that can be, it definitely does have the potential to set this game up to be one of the most hard-hitting storylines we've ever seen, not just within the Call of Duty series. On top of that, Infinity Ward has hired some of the staff from the development studio Naughty Dog. And of course, Naughty Dog has produced some of the most amazing stories within games that we've ever seen, with The Last of Us and the Uncharted series. So, Infinity Ward has all of the tools they need to produce an incredibly impactful storyline, and it's something that I really think the series has needed for quite some time. Moving over to the multiplayer side of things now, with number 4, Modern Warfare will not have a season pass, or at least not the same traditional sort of season pass that Call of Duty has had in the past. And guys, this is a massive step in the right direction for Call of Duty. Look man, I love Black Ops 4. Honestly, I think it's one of the best Call of Duty games in recent memory, and when it came out, I got to 2nd or 3rd prestige in the first couple of weeks. But after that, I never really came back to it. And one of the main reasons why was because I didn't want to pay $20 just for new DLC maps. And I can understand why they did it. That's always been the Call of Duty formula for as long as I can remember. But over the past few years, the way DLC is implemented into games has completely changed. And now Modern Warfare is finally changing with it. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, taking away the season pass means that now all what is typically paid DLC, like weapons and maps, is now going to be completely free. And the main reason for this change is to increase the focus on building one big community, rather than dividing players up into players who have the DLC and those who don't. I'm sure you can remember a time where you've got all of your friends online into a party and you're ready to go, but you can't find a match because there's that one person who didn't have the DLC that you needed. Well, from now on, that won't happen. And Call of Duty, it's about frickin' time. Well done. And the 5th and final reason this game is exactly what Call of Duty needs is crossplay. Let me set the scene for you. It's 2012 and young TGG has just entered high school, and he's making a lot of new friends. He finds a group of friends who all play Modern Warfare 3, and he gets all excited to play with them online until he finds out that they don't play on the same platform as him. It has been 7 years that I've been waiting for crossplay to be introduced to Call of Duty, and while right now it's not as big of an issue for me, I am so glad for everyone younger than me that no longer have to be separated from their friends just because they play on a different console or platform. Now, to be clear, we don't know exactly what the term crossplay involves just yet, because no in-depth info has been released. And there's been a lot of concern around the community that PC players will just destroy console players, and look, I understand that, but let's be real, the developers aren't idiots. They know that there's an advantage for PC players. So with that in mind, I'm going to assume that crossplay is only for consoles for Modern Warfare. And while that sucks if you're a PC player, it's definitely the most fair way to implement crossplay into a game like Call of Duty. And those are the 5 reasons I think Modern Warfare is exactly what Call of Duty needs. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited or nervous about Modern Warfare? Let me know, and let's start a conversation in the comments below. As always, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!